Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday, Day Trading with Jesus. We are going to be day trading live here on this ad-free live stream. If you're here for the first time, my name's Tyler. Welcome. Super glad that you're here this morning. I'm going to be here to help navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures. Now, here's what you can expect during these live streams. I'm going to be breaking down live price action. I'm going to be sharing my daily bias, and I'm going to be sharing real-time trades to give you a front row seat to all the action. No fluff, just the good stuff. Now, if you're here after the fact of the stream, you can jump to the key moments using chapter markers, the chapter markers that are going to be below this video. You'll find all the trades that I've taken, along with a detailed explanation so you can learn exactly what I was thinking and why. And for those of you ready to take your trading to the next level, I got a special discount code for you in my community. If you use the code DTJ, you're going to get 80% off your next eval using Apex to start your own funded journey with Apex. Now, Apex has some new rules. We're going to be going over those rules today. I think we'll have some questions on what this means, and I think overall is really, really good. We're going to be going over those, but you can find that link down in the description. Use the you'll find all the links and the codes down in the description box. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's open in prayer. Father, we welcome you into our trading, into our journey of trading. Father, we thank you for the ability to produce wealth. Thank you for a community of believers that want to expand your kingdom and use the resources that you've given us to do so. So Father, we receive what you have for us today. We renounce any greed, any selfish ambition, any lusts for more to where we just can't be satisfied and content with what you've given us. But Father, we receive it from you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, folks, let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. It's Monday. Let's take a look at the charts. Let's see what we got going on. And let's mark up our charts before the market opens. We got about 7 minutes. And so I'm going to let you know what I've currently marked out so you guys can also do the same. Oh, I know I had a level right here. This is our previous week low. I don't know why that's not there. All right, so let's just mark that again then. Unless it disappeared on me. No. Okay, so we're going to mark our previous week low and our previous week high. You're going to see those here. Week low is in orange, week high is in orange. So our weekly range is from that high to this low. And we're inside this weekly range. We will more than likely expand to either one of these 2 points, either the high or the low. Okay, when we look at our daily, our previous day high and our previous day low, we're looking at, this is our previous day high, and this is our previous day low. Okay, so we're looking at Thursday at 9 p.m. 9:30 was our low, and our high was sitting on Friday at 11:25 a.m. We got some smooth levels right here on this previous day high. That looks attractive. We also have some smooth equal highs sitting right here, which also look attractive. I see price potentially running up into those levels. We marked our new week opening gap sitting right here. We have our low, new week opening gap low, and our new week opening gap high. Those are all marked out. And we also have our midnight open sitting right here. Midnight open, MNO, Jason. Midnight open. So we will have all of those on our charts. Some of these are fulcrum points. Midnight open, 9:30 price. I have on the charts for our power of 3, which we'll get into later. But it seems as if we decided not to run all the way down here to the previous day low, tagging these new day opening gaps. We didn't tag the new day opening gaps. On a higher time frame, let's zoom out to the daily here. I want you to see what the daily looks like. We got about 5 minutes, so we got time. We're not taking anything before market opens. We have no news today, so it's potentially a slow morning. Here's the thing. I've talked about this multiple times. Hang on a second. I forgot my microphone is not where I normally have it. Want it to sound a little bit crisper. Sorry if that sounded like a bunch of mumble jumble. Sorry. One more thing. Okay, there we go. That shouldn't be much clearer, hopefully. Okay, the thing I want you to understand here, and we've talked about this multiple times, if you look at all of this trading, a majority of the time you'll see the day after candle of a previous day will run either the high or the low of the previous day candle. A majority of the time, it will only run one high or one low. Sometimes it will run both, and sometimes it will run none. So here we have a high and a low that didn't run any of these previous day highs. The next candle runs both of those, but doesn't run the lows, right? This candle here doesn't run this high, but runs the lows and pushes lower. So our goal, if I was to really simplify this, is we need to figure out which high or which low does it want to run. Because there's a higher probability for it to just run one and not both. And you can't be deceived based on where the opening price is at 9:30. That's regardless. That's irrelevant of the fact. Sometimes it's appropriate, but most times it's not. Does it want to go higher to run these previous day highs and the weekly high? Now, it may not get to the weekly high today, but that could be a target. Or does it want to run the previous day lows and running for the weekly low sitting here? Here's another previous day low. Let's mark that out. Okay. We just want to have those on our charts because those are going to be points of reversals, points of retracements that you'll see price come into and then want to bounce off of, so to speak. So that's really what we got to figure out. Let's jump even one time frame higher to the weekly. So we have a nothing burger candle here on the previous week. It really doesn't tell us if it's bullish or bearish. When I see something like this, I'm seeing the potential of a reversal, but we still could see a big wick up here first before we start moving lower. So I don't see much on the weekly. On the monthly, with basically 10 days left in the month, it feels like it could go higher. It feels like we could run some highs, turning this into an order block in the next 10 days. So that's potential for a higher time frame move. If that's the case, what's the narrative? Right? We have a week left. Maybe lower prices to go higher. That's a potential too. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of green prices, of bullish weeks. We've been basically, this is the daily chart, we've basically been consolidating for really the last 2 weeks, it seems like. Not much expansion. Now, we're talking several hundred points here, but still. We have absolutely no fair value gaps in all of this price action. So here's a oh, we're missing the open here. So I'm sorry. 10 seconds in, let's mark this here. 9:30 price. I'm talking too slow, that's what I'm realizing. And let's look at our regular trading hours. Let's see what we got for our opening range gap. That doesn't look right. I think I might have marked that on the wrong one. There's those equal highs tagged right there. We expected that. We really had nothing, no opportunity to go long here. Honestly, the only way I would have went long is if we had some type of retracement that left a fair value gap or had a big enough retracement for me to see the reaction. I'm not going to just take a boom candle right off the top. Now, what I can do now that we ran these highs is we can look for lower prices, to be honest. We hit the midpoint of the opening range gap. We tapped these equal highs. We haven't ran into the previous week high, or excuse me, the new week opening gap, and we haven't ran into midnight open, which I do expect midnight open to be tagged. If I had a hunch, I would expect the midnight open to be tagged. We have no news this week. Excuse me, no news today. I have not set up my macros, so let's see if I can get, thank you. I'm glad that worked out really well. All right, let's get 20 likes in here, and then we'll be green lit to take trade on the screen. I'll be talking through everything, but let's get to 20 likes, and then we will take our first trade on screen for everyone. All right, good morning, Jason. Good morning, Ted. Sandra, good morning. Alkai, Jordy, Deborah, glad to have you guys this morning. Joseph, good morning. Looking good, looking good. Okay, so we bounced off 930 here. I'm on the 30-second, and here is a 30-second fair value gap. This is a momentum trade. I'm not taking this because no news, but this is a good setup. I've told myself I'm going to be very picky on the trades that I take. Only thing I don't like is how we tagged already these equal highs. We do have reason to reach higher if we want to. Viking, what's up, my man? Should I mark down my 830 or 930 on UTC4? I get confused about this a lot because I'm not a U.S. citizen. It's always New York time. UTC4, it's 930. 930 is the price, okay? So whatever time all the market opened, which is when all this action started happening, that's 930. That's what we want to mark, okay? What just happened? This is our first fair value gap sitting. Nope, that's not it. Let's go to the 1 minute here. We have not had our first fair value gap. First fair value gap is the first fair value gap starting at 931. You can't use the 930 candle as your first fair value gap that we want to mark. And we're speaking in the ICT language here. Okay, these are ICT concepts. This is going to be a 30-second right there. Let's see if it wants to run to the high. That just closed on the 30-second. I said I wasn't going to take that. Yeah, this is a breaker on the retracement. Is that what you're talking about, Ted? Nice retracement there. The only thing I don't like is that we had a bunch of equal highs and this halfway point that made me a little hesitant, but it worked out. 30-second was a nice play. I don't want to make it too easy on me, you know. I don't want to be done in 5 minutes. I'd love to be done in 5 minutes. You know what? I don't think I marked our London low and London high, and we might be running over those now. Yeah. The equal highs were also the London highs. Way to go, Ted. Good job, good job. Yeah, I did see that. And it's actually still on my charts because it's still relevant. If we run to 20,666, now are you saying 666 as for the spiritual implications, or is that an actual level? I don't know if there's any spiritual implications. Oh, really? That's funny. Yeah, I'm not doing none of that. Got it. First fair value gap, target previous day gap close, works well. We do have our first fair value gap on the 1 minute, I believe, and that is right here. We'll mark that as our first fair value gap of the day, and it's also the first fair value gap of the week. So we'll be keeping this on the charts. Yeah, we got our new week opening gap sitting right here. Looking at the consequent encroachment sitting about right here. Okay. So we haven't tagged the halfway point, so we're staying in discount. Let's see if it wants to push back up through it or if we stay underneath it. These equal highs that we ran right here also will be the same level for a potential breaker. So we want to watch and see how we react to basically these levels sitting right here. That probably means, Judas, we're probably going to see higher prices. We'll see if it wants to run it right away or not. Got this order block overlapping with this fair value gap. I like this right here. Oh, is it going to give it to us? No close. Created some equal highs here though. We're lingering around too many levels that need to be cleared before a push up. Anything higher without a retracement right now for me is sus for me. I want to see a retracement. I mean, you see on this 15-minute candle, we're green for the last, since 8 a.m. we've been green. So we could play the retracement candle, or we could play the candle after the retracement to push potentially higher if we are going to go that way. How was you guys' weekends? No, Ryan, I haven't taken any trades. No trades yet. I was half tempted to take that 30-second long, but I didn't. Did you take that long? That was the only trade so far. I really want to see a retracement. You know what, I might start a little bit earlier, guys. I might start at my streams at 9:15. I just don't have enough. I have noticed I've missed a few of my opening moves right around 9:30 because I haven't gotten through everything I need to get through. So I may consider starting at 9:15 just to give myself that extra 5 minutes to get settled, and so we can actually pay attention to 9:30 price, because I think there's opportunity there. I could argue both sides. You'll have people that say they won't take anything until after 15 minutes on the market open, and then some people are like, no, I'm taking the first move off of 9:30. So I think just having the opportunity to see that will be beneficial. So I'm thinking probably starting at 9:15 would be better for everybody. All right. I'm putting ES on my chart. It's going to be off screen, but it's going to be on my chart. Let's look. London high is right there. If ES closes above the 520 candle on the 5 minute, that's probably in the next minute. That's probably a good sign. This is what I'm seeing. This is ES right here. Guess there's a small fair value gap right here. Equal highs and London high. There's the 5 minute. And we did not close above that 5 minute candle. I was reading through some of the Apex rules and some of the new rules that Apex is doing, and there's some interesting info that when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this could make a great video. But we're going to talk about that today because a lot of people, they gave the answer to why so many people are saying, hey, I've been green, but I'm not fun. Why did they deny my payout? They gave the answer. And it's a revealing answer to the way people are trading. And we're going to talk about that here today. It's going to be very insightful on your own trading journey, on how to handle your trades and what does consistency really mean and look like, and why are they doing it. So it's going to be a great conversation. We'll get that probably after we get through this macro, the 10 a.m. macro. We're currently in the 10 a.m. macro right now. We haven't had a single fair value gap in the last 10 minutes, and we're just waiting for some type of displacement on where it wants to go. Not a single fair value gap on the 5 minute, except for right at 9:30. This is not very pretty, but a high, low, higher, high. We have a little bit of a breaker right here. There's the explosion right there. Not a single fair value gap in there, folks. A tiny 30-second that you wouldn't have wanted to take. Okay, let's see how it rejects off the new week opening gap right there, the high, and see if it expands higher. Did we? Yes, did we still, we're reaching for them right now? This would be a momentum play. Not necessarily a fan of it, but you could go long right here. We just swept these high, swept a minor buy side liquidity sitting right there. Just didn't give me the fair value gap that I wanted. The 1 hour fair value gap close. We tapped that last 1 hour. Well, our fair value gap sitting right here. I like that little 30-second. It's a little messy right now. I think I want to take that off right now. I like lower prices right here. Close below this on the 1 minute. I'll look at that. We got 40 seconds though. I kind of want to see if ES is going to continue this bullish run or not. It has this 5-minute fair value gap that's going to close in 2 minutes. This fair value gap, 5-minute fair value gap right here. If it closes below that, that would be a nice indication for some type of retracement. Looked like it created an OB right there. See if it gets a close below this. The ES looks like it has 1 minute left, about to close below that 5 minute. Yep, it's dropping now on ES, so I'm probably not going to look at this long here. Let's see if it closes. I kind of like that more. All right, ES just closed below. It'll probably pop right here for. Did it give that 30-second? Nope, it didn't give the 30-second long. We did hit a minor buy side liquidity sitting right here. We need a couple more likes for that on-screen trade, folks. 20. We're looking for 20. Oh, I didn't go that far on ES. That's interesting. Yep, it did retrace down to a breaker on ES. But we did inverse that. We'll see what happens. The only way I'm going to take a long is if I get a displacement on NQ lower and then bounces higher. I want that retracement. I don't like going long and stuff like this. I just don't like doing it. And I'm okay now. I'm okay sitting here. I'm okay sitting here. You may not be. I don't know. That's why you got your finger on the trigger. So ES, or we had the 30-second close right here, and then did it close below it? Then it closed below it on the next candle. So I don't. That makes me feel good. Do I ever soup? One of my best trades actually was a soup, and I called it out before. It's on my channel where I souped and it dropped 50 points in like 30 seconds. And it was right after I got in from a turtle soup. But I normally don't trade them that often. They're really risky, and I don't think I don't have the edge. I don't have an edge on it, from my personal opinion. You know what I'd like to see, to be honest, if we get up to this previous day high, if we don't get an opportunity to target this previous day high, because this is our obvious draw on liquidity right now. It's the obvious one, in my opinion. If we don't get an entry that gets us up here for us, I will look for something that retraces down into the new week opening, or this opening gap, or this first fair value gap right here. That's what I'll be looking at. And I talk about that, Judas says you could see that potentially at the previous day high. That'd be nice. A lot of inside days here. I mean, we did run lows and highs, but a lot of consolidation. This was, I think most of this candle happened before the market opened, if I remember right. ES did not make a higher high. This is a 30-second short. Not looking at that. I might look at that as a long though. It's just, we're really high already. You know what I mean? Let's see where it closes. If it makes a low risk trade, I'll be interested in it.
Order submitted.
All right, I did go long. Stops at break even.
Order submitted.
Let's see if we can get that to run. Previous day high is almost tagged. Previous day high is sitting right here.
Order submitted.
This is previous day high. All right, there's our tag.
Order canceled.
There's our first on-screen trade. I did take one off screen because we didn't hit those 20 likes. It was a break-even trade. It didn't go anywhere. You didn't miss anything. Now, I wish those were minis. No. Micros. I've made five micros my standard right now. Yeah, we're going to talk about some of those, Ryan. I want to talk about, I think the one that is most confusing because they didn't enforce it, now they are, is the 30% rule. And what that means. I want to talk about the 30% rule. And I also want to talk about the minimum $50 out of 8 trading days rule. That's interesting as well. It's 80% off right now, Joseph. I don't have 90 on there, do I? Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I have 2 on here and it reset. There you go. So here's how it works. Apex gives me a code and that code is added to their database. And whenever they do a discount, it goes for my code and if I'm honest, it goes for every other code out there. So there is not a code, there is not a discount code that will get you a better deal, period. They are all the same. So whether one says 80% off, 90% off, doesn't matter. Either code will give you the exact same discount. Either code will give you the exact same. Ted, have a great day. No, I know they explain that further, Ryan. We're just going to talk about it here. Not everybody watched. No, I can guarantee you maybe 2 out of the 40 people on this stream watched it. And those 2 people are probably you and me. It's not negative 30, it's 30%. There's no negative 30% rule. There may be, I didn't get that far. But they have a 30% consistency rule. So if you withdraw $1,000 and they look at your trades and you have one trade that's over $300, they'll deny your payout. Judas, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Jordy, what's going on? No, I'm waiting to see if we're going to get a retracement. We are not done, Cubic. We hit a very key level. Whenever you hit a key level like this, do not check out, but you need to be patient. So right now we're watching, do we want to continue the expansion for higher prices, which we have reason to go higher. Okay. We have this 15-minute fair value gap we're in, and then we have this previous day high that's sitting up here. This 930 price that I want to see, I would like to see tagged, but we hit a very key level. It's very possible to get some type of retracement after. Look at all these series of green closed candles. So, and this is on a 15-minute time frame. So I want to see a retracement. I want to see a retracement. Now that we hit the key level, this is what Judas was talking about, a potential turtle soup. This would be your turtle soup option. How do you know that? We ran the high, closed green, next candle closed below that. That would be a change in state of delivery. This would be your entry. And we'd see if it actually wants to hold. Stop would be above here. Now, I'm not excited on the lack of movement right here. This tells me we could see some higher prices. Yeah, you could call it a bull flag, whatever you want. But basically, when we hit a key level, I want to see a rejection of that level very quickly. Yes, they have a 30% loss limit on your daily drawdown. Jordy, just paying attention to PA. Oh, yeah, you bet. You bet. You bet. Totally. You don't need to be chatty. Feeling kinda, I don't know, demotivated, I suppose. You ever have those days where you try to read the word and your mind just off? I mean, if somebody says they've never had that, then they're lying. That's 100%. Totally get that. Okay, so look how we've rejected the previous day high since this candle's low. I'm not saying, I'm just noting. This is part of reading price action. I'll read that in a second, Ryan. I want to see if we get something here. We have low resistance liquidity right here. We have midnight open sitting right here. New day opening, new week opening gaps sitting here. To be honest, I would like to see this not continue lower right here, but come back up and maybe wick above this high and then go. I would be more interested in something like that. We did close, well, let's see, what do we got on the 2 minute here? So the 2 minute closes in 8 seconds. Let's see if it closes below it. It would be a close below this level right here. Okay, so there's a close. That's an actual trade. It's a large stop loss though. And a large target. 20 handles about both ways. I like the market maker sell model, especially since we hit the since we hit a key level on the previous day high, and we have no news. So we just got to watch this level here to see how we want to displace. I'm not at the point of my trading career where I'm anticipating. I don't want to just assume I know that it's going to go lower from hitting this key level. $30 closes in 1 second. There's your close on the 30-second. That's not a bad long, but we did hit previous day high, which makes it less probable and something I wouldn't take. If I saw the draw on liquidity right here, I'd be in this hardcore just like I was down here. So the difference between the trade that I took right here, which looks almost identical. Do you guys see the similarities in this? We went lower. We went lower and then we aggressively went higher, but we had the draw on liquidity up here. This trade is we've already hit the potential draw on liquidity. We retraced and now we're looking aggressive. Aggressive to what? I don't know. I mean, we're in a 15-minute SIBI right now too. So this 15-minute SIBI could still find resistance in. Now, could it work? Absolutely. Could we go to the highs sitting right here? Absolutely. I'm just not going to take that because I'm not going to take a long assuming we don't get a retracement. You see what I'm saying? I just don't want to do that. I think that's poor. I think that's poor management, risk management. All right, so we are out of the 10 a.m. macro. Okay, Ryan, let's talk about these. The new risk rules, minus 30%. Unrealized, don't let a single trend exceed 30% of your starting daily trailing limit. So I want to talk about that. Maybe that was the same thing that I was referring to. I didn't get that far because when I was watching it, I got really excited. I can't believe I've been talking about it and not showing anything over here. So it's too messy. Yes, Sandra, it is. Oh, look at that. Look, it does want to go higher. I'll be honest, these are the types of trades that I probably don't get most times, is stuff like this. We hit a key level. I need to find the way I would potentially take something like this is if we get this. So we have this, I want to see this, and then run to these, to this previous day high right there. That's what I would want to see. I would want to see it come back down here, find the support, and then move higher. When we find the support here, it's confirmation to me that we do in fact want to continue higher, and we don't just want to, it's not just us running more stops up here. This still is considered a sweeping liquidity, right? People that have their stops above the previous day high can have them anywhere, 20 points. So 20, 30 points above this level. So is this just a sweep, or do we find support here and then continue higher? That's the way I would be looking at a continuation to move higher from a key level, personally. So here was the big thing. Let's talk about Apex for a second. Okay, one of the biggest complaints you would have seen on on Twitter or on X over and over and over again is people saying, I got denied a payout. I'm green. Look at my chart. Look at my P&L. Look at my wins. I'm green, 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 green. And they would get denied payouts. But what they didn't show you and what you couldn't see was extremely revealing. The extremely revealing part is what Ryan is referring here, and I didn't know they put a term to it. It was the minus 30% of unrealized gains rule. Meaning, what's been happening is this. Traders go long here. They have this target here. And what happens is they, even though they don't get stopped out, let their trade run all the way down, let's say to here, but they still don't close the trade. Then it comes back up to here, and instead of going for profit and getting that same large payout, it doesn't matter if it gets paid out or not, but they end up closing it when it gets to about here. So they make $100, but they were down over $2,000, right? It didn't blow their account. It didn't stop them out there, but because they let it run so far in the red, and then they made little profit in the green, Apex is saying, hey, that's not really consistent trading we like to see. And I talked about this. I told you guys that if you guys are consistent in your profit targets, 10 handles, 20 handles, and you're consistent with how much you're only willing to lose, 10 handles, 20 handles, $200, you're going to be just fine. The problem is that when those traders are showing their green, that they ended green, what you will never see is how far red they went in the middle of that trade. That's the problem. That's the thing that Apex wants to avoid. They do not want a trader to go long here, hold through all this drawdown. Let me give an actual example here. So let's look at an actual example. Okay, let's just say they go long right at this high. Okay, let's say they go right at that high and they want to go through this, right? So the problem is that these traders are holding their drawdown through 30 plus handles of drawdown. Yes, it doesn't stop them out, but then when it turns green, they close their account for a small win. So they basically were in unrealized drawdown of $2,000, $1,500, and then they take profit of $100. Apex is saying, we want nothing to do with that. And honestly, it is not a way that you should be trading at all. You should not be trading that way. That is a recipe for failure. That's a recipe for disaster. So when you're looking at wanting to be getting consistent payouts with Apex, you're going to have a hard set rule of what you're willing to take a loss on. Now, I don't necessarily have a hard stop on my inversion model. It's a close below or above the inversion fair value gap, which it could be 5 handles, it could be 15 handles or 20 handles. It depends. But at least there's consistency in that. And then when I look at my profit is going to relatively be a 1-to-1 ratio. So if I'm looking at my loss of 15 handles, my profit target typically is about 10, 15, 20 handles as well. You're going to have to find that consistency. This is what I'm talking about right here. Okay. Now this looks more interesting right here. That looks more attractive. Now, what I would want to see is aggression here. I would not want it to creep up through this and then close. I would want it to close aggressively. That's the only way I would take something like that. Okay? So far we've seen what I've been talking about. I just don't know if we're going to hold right here or not, but we have the fair value gap that I referred to. Now we need to see if it wants to hold this or if it's going to continue the other way. So when you're looking at your own trading journey, guys, part of the course, part of the purpose-driven trader that we're going to go over is over trading, your risk management, proper sizing. We're going to address these things because if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to benefit from some of the prop firms that allow you to use their funds. Then you're going to spend all this time and all this money trading on their accounts, and then you're going to get denials because you're not trading with proper risk management, which, I mean, it's insane to me that somebody would let their trade go to $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 on a funded account and then take a let it get back to break. I mean, I would be extremely grateful if that happened to me, but that's not like how I want to trade. And in their example, there were like 4 or 5 trades just like that from this example account that they were looking at. Now, I don't know if this was a real person. I'm assuming it's a real person, and I'm assuming they're probably finding the biggest example out there. So it's probably, a unicorn compared to a lot of these other traders. But that's the facts. And it doesn't surprise me if they ask for video evidence that they're actually making the trades or showing they're profitable, because they want to know that there actually is a model involved in that type of trading. Well, they don't want nothing to do with that. So if you want to trade Apex, if you want to be getting payouts from them, I haven't had any issues. I've gotten payouts within a single day. Just last week, I got a payout within a day. They paid it out same day, right? I put the request in the morning. They waited till the end of the trading day because they want to make sure I wasn't going to blow an account, and then they approved the payout. Why? I have consistency. There's consistency in that, okay? One of the other rules, so you can see that we actually fell through this. Let's talk about this here real quick. So we have a high, low, higher, high. So let's get rid of this because I'm not looking at higher prices right now. If we want to change in state of delivery, we got to look at the 5-minute. 5-minute has a change in state of delivery of right here. This is our change in state of delivery. Okay, our 5-minute change in state of delivery. Why? If you look at the 5-minute chart, this is the first candle that pierces through this previous day high. So technically, this is still bullish until we run below this or close below this on the 5-minute, telling us that, hey, we do want to see lower prices. It also is the setup for our breaker. High, low, higher, high. We break lower. Here's our breaker bar right here. Okay? So we have a couple different options that we're now wanting to sit through and see what happens. Okay? Let's see. Profits can be avoided. Judas just saying that 7 a.m. Now it's gone. Quick salute. It's easier to trade higher time frames now. That's reckless. Jordy certainly can't be consistent, overtaking bigger losses in red days. Stoic Capital. It's possible. Just requires some match. Check out Austin Clark losses, but I don't think it takes super small profits. Yeah, see, maybe it works, but I'm not into that. And if you want to use people's prop firm, if you want to use other people's cash, you're going to have to actually show yourself profitable. Now, Apex has another rule. They're another change. They're allowing you to take payouts every 8 trading days, not 10, every 8 trading days. They're removing the 1st to 5th and 15th to the 20th payout periods. But the thing about this is interesting. They require 5 out of the 8 days to have $50 worth of profits. Now, there's still an unanswered question on my end. Maybe somebody else here knows it. But does those, because for some people, if they're trading into micro, okay, $50 is basically 25 handles. That's a great day of trading, right? So my question is, if they require 5 of the 8 days to have $50, is that a trade making $50? Or does that mean they have to end the day with above $50 balance, a $50 balance above? That's my question. This is a market structure shift right here. It's a lower time frame concept of the CISD. Let's see if it actually wants to do something with it. You don't take a trade off this. It's a little too high. I would want to see it lower. And it's at 10:30 here. So let's see what happens. We'll wait towards the macro. So that's my question. So if anybody knows that answer, I would love to know the answer to that. Is if you have to end the day with a minimum balance of $50. Because if you have to end the balance, that means you got to be green 5 days. You got to have 5 days of the last 8. I don't think it's unreasonable. I mean, if you really think about it, the only way you're taking payouts is if you're profitable, right? So you can't take payouts if you have one giant day that's over 30% of what you want to take out, and then you do penny trades for the rest of the week. They're going to deny that because of the 30% rule. The 30% rule on the other end, not just what we just talked about, is that if you have, one giant day of, $500 that you made, and then every other trade is, $50, $60, and then you take a payout of $600, well, they're going to deny that because you had one trade that was well over your 30%. So you basically have to make more smaller trades to get that out of that 30% rule. They just basically don't want any gambling. And I'm not teaching gambling on here. Nobody, and you shouldn't be looking to anybody that's giving you a gamble style trades, right? You want to avoid those at all cost. You want to find consistency in your trading. So I think overall these rules are going to be very beneficial and helpful for people to be more consistent, and they've made it very, very clear. I want to see if it closes below this right here in the next 20 seconds and see if it runs this low. This is actually not a bad setup. Let's see if it will give it to us here.
Order submitted.
I'm going to take this. Oh, wow. I'm selling that right now.
Order submitted.
Holy cow. I took that and just capitalized. Wow. When I get such a oh my God. Okay. For those of you that may not believe me, I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to show you. I literally took that. I'm not going to talk about it and show you that I didn't. All right, right there. So I got in right at the close of that candle. Literally the next candle, I sold it right there. So that, when you got to react, when you get such a quick move like that, sell your position. I don't know what to say, because what I've tended to realize and find out is when you get such a reaction within the first 10 seconds of a candle, that leaves 50 seconds left for it to retrace and then potentially run the other direction. If I get a move like that quick, I'm going to take the profit. Deborah, way to go, girl. When that happens, man, just take it and get out. I mean, it was 15 handles in a second. That was 15. I mean, it moves so quickly. When that happens, you got to run. You got to leave. Just get out of there. Charles, wait. That makes me happy. I'm not going to lie. It makes me happy to see people taking some trades that I'm taking. I don't know how to say it. It's like rewarding to see people be successful. It actually makes me even happier to see that people took the trade and made money on it. But when you get such a reaction like that, you got to just sell it super quickly, because now you're dealing with potential drawdown. Yes, it could still go. We still haven't closed below that 5-minute change in state of delivery. We're going to close below it probably in the next minute. So you see that candle right there? That's what we're looking for. This right here. So we want to see if this is just a wick and that was all we're doing, and then we want to still move higher, or if it wants to close below this. Okay? Now, if it closes below this, it's telling us there's a higher probability we're going to see lower prices. It's nothing's a guarantee. Okay? Nothing's a guarantee. But we also tagged, I told you I wanted to see it hit midnight open, and that wick basically did midnight open. Now, could this is an A- setup, A-, A-. I'm not taking it. Okay? The thing that you would be wanting to watch is this right here. Is do we get to this midpoint of this wick? Okay? If we don't get to the midpoint of this wick within the next candle, especially if we close below this inversion fair value gap, which we haven't yet, then it tells me that we are probably going to see higher prices. But let's see if this 5-minute closes in the next 20 seconds, where that closes. Looks like ES is sold off quite a bit. There's ES right there. Big sell-off on ES right there. Okay, so we did get a 5-minute change in state of delivery right there on the 5-minute. Okay, if we do this, now the next thing that you want to do is put a Fibonacci tool, which we already have one. Let me mark that. I'm going to take this off the wick right now. We want to pull this from this low to this high. We want to see price get up above this level. Ideally, in my opinion, above this swing high, and maybe even reach for this fair value gap sitting right here for a short. Now, I wouldn't be taking this because it's outside of my breaker. This is more of a model 2022, which is an ICT. It's an ICT model. Let's see if it's better viewed on the 1. I like the 1 minute better. I like these levels right here. Actually, I do like that swing high. I think we could get rid of that. So that's what I would be looking at. If it just drops right here, then we miss the opportunity. I would want to see it come back up into this breaker, which is these two down close candles. And if it could reach above the swing high. And it doesn't look like it's going to give it to us. But do you see how that 5-minute change in state of delivery is our confirmation of higher probability of lower prices? That's how I look at it. It's how I treat it. Yeah, I think this is looking more and more like a market maker sell model. So I'm not looking for longs, I'm looking for shorts. Our opportunity for a short is on a retracement. We are not going to try to catch these falling knives. It could as easily retrace 30 handles against you. The Winner Circle Trader. Welcome, my friend. Jesus is King. Amen. First fair value gap sitting right here. This is a balanced price range. This wick could easily just stop right here, and it could continue lower. Okay, there is the wick. Now we're still watching the midpoint of this wick. Okay, we're still watching this midpoint right there. We want to see if it wants to stay below this wick right here, the midpoint. Okay, honestly, I would love to see it go a little bit higher, wick into this candle, reject that, stay below the new week opening gap, and then drop. That's something that a scenario that I would jump in on the short. But if it's just going to drop like this, I'm not going to do that. It can run without me. We have to stay with our model. You can't be so easily, getting FOMO because you're not capitalizing on a trade like this. Well, yeah, honestly, the trade was when we took the short right here, but we got out. Yeah, you could have held it and got through some drawdown and then capitalized on this, but that you got to decide if you want to take your trades like that. I'm not doing that. Okay? I'll take my 15 handles and get out on a big move like that in 10 seconds. Literally, it was more like 5 seconds. So we're still looking for opportunities. A close below this first week fair value gap will be interesting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can have a little bit of FOMO here. That's fine. Just don't take anything because I'm having FOMO right now. I'm not going to take anything. Okay, so we just made equal lows right here. And see that type of retracement? People get so scared they're going to miss out. They'll get long right here, and guess what it does? It just runs against them by 20, 30 handles, and now it sucks. You're sitting in drawdown. This is one of those scenarios, right? You went short right here, and now you're like, oh crap, I got to let this go. More than likely, it's not going to go above a level like that. More than likely, it's going to come back down, but you would have to hold through that drawdown, and Apex does not want this. So you can't take these momentum trades lower. You're just going to get into too much drawdown, and it just sucks, okay? Yeah, straight back to open. There's 930 opening price right there. It wicked through that, filled that fair value gap. We still have lower prices if it wants to, but I'm watching 930 to see how it wants to react, okay? We came into this first fair value gap again. I'm watching this level right here. That's the level I'm really watching. I think there's opportunity there. Meaning, I want to see it reject that level multiple times. Prepare for some consolidation, guys. I think we have some consolidation that is going to happen. Yeah, that is that breaker I talked about earlier, Sandra. I see it. Do you guys see how this previous day high that we talked about, this is the key level that we can start seeing price run the other direction? What have we seen? I mean, I see area of improvement in my own trading. I want to be able to recognize this more and take more confident trades up here. I don't want to have to wait till down here when I'm taking the trade, right? There's opportunities up here that I could get in short and I could just let this sucker ride out, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm journaling or doing at least a mental journal at the moment that look at this previous day high. We waited for the market. We got the market structure shift right here. Lower time frame, change in state of delivery or market structure shift. We came back up to that level. order block, breaker, short. This would have been a great breaker right here. I need to get more confidence that I can take those trades. Put a 10 handle stop loss, something like that, and then let this trade play out. That would have gotten 80 plus handles in less than 10 minutes. And the biggest factor in getting these amazing setups is understanding where your key level is and identifying them, right? When we saw this key level, we wanted to see if it was going to find support to move higher. It broke lower. Over time, you're going to get better at it. If I'm 100% honest, I didn't expect this to happen so quickly. I wanted to see it consolidate here a little bit more. It just didn't do it. It's running very aggressively. There's a good chance we run this low because we're below this. I see days like this, guys. And when you miss opportunities, yes, we've made money. Yes, we're green. I'm happy. But holy freaking cow. These are the things that when you see trades like this, guys, you have to go back and you have to journal. You have to mark down, what did you see? How did you feel? What made you decide not to get in this short right here? And I can tell you, I was waiting for the 5-minute change in state of delivery right here, and we got that right on this candle right here. And then it broke lower after the change in state of delivery. So I could have said, here's my breaker, but I'm only going to get in once I have my 5-minute change in state of delivery, and then took that. That would have been an opportunity. Way to go, Jordy. Take what the Lord gives you and be grateful. Let's see. 1 minute. Did I miss? Okay. Now, I do not have a problem making a 10-handle trade on a retracement here. It wouldn't surprise me after running this minor sell side here at 838 that we get a retracement that runs these highs right here. It would not surprise me at all. See you, Jordy. And the reason why I say that is when you look at the aggression of this, of how far we've gone down, an aggressive move higher is not uncommon. Why? Because there's going to be so much FOMO in this trade that price is going to aggressively move the other way, putting those people in drawdown, getting them stopped out and taking more short orders to go lower. So I still see lower prices. I see lower prices all the way down here. Potentially even to the low of day, sitting right here, previous day low. I don't think we run this low, but we could. It's not as high a probability. But I do see for sure an aggressive retracement moving this way, even though, because people are thinking, oh, we're still going to go short. We're still going to go lower. Well, we're going to go long right here. We're going to target that. Now, you don't take that trade unless we close above this fair value gap here. Has to close above that, because if it rolls over, stays below 930 right here, that's still an opportunity to go short. So we still obviously aren't 100% sure it's going to go all the way up here. That's why you got to watch price. You got to be able to read it. That's why you got to have these key levels on the left side of the chart so that you can keep track of what's going on. We're also in this new day opening. We're at the low of this new day opening gap on the 14th. Or no, this is just a new week opening gap on the 14th. Did I delete one of those levels? I'll have to go back and look. Thank you, Cornelius. Thank you, my friend. Where is BW? I don't know where BW is. Bridget, no. BW. Does anybody know where BW is? I don't know what BW stands for. All right, 930 is rejecting. This is interesting. I'm going to look at this right here. I'm going to take a small short here.
Order submitted.
Let's see if it gives me it. Tight stop loss. And if it doesn't give it to me, here really quickly, 30 seconds. Hang on, let me put this on here. This is a B plus setup for the short. I took it that closed below this, and if it closes above here, we're going to be out. And based on that, I'm going to get out. So there's a loss right there, folks. I think I got a little excited based on the 930 rejecting multiple times in that displacement below this, that I'm like, oh, this could work. Completely against my narrative that I was talking about right here based on how aggressive we were going lower. And sure enough, I guess when you talk out of both sides, bearish and bullish, one of them's going to work, one of them's going to be wrong. I should have stuck with my initial bias. I am going to try this long here, very, very light. Very light if it gives it to us. I do like an aggressive move to go back here. We got rejected here, denied there, bounced off the new week opening gap low. I do like the idea of some higher prices. What's the 30-second here? 30-second hasn't given us a close. You could go off of the 30-second as well. Here's a little bit of a breaker right here. I'm not taking anything short right now. In a situation like this, you would not take this inversion long because it's being held down by this fair value gap. We want to see this fair value gap broken. And it's going to give us a nice order block sitting right inside there if it closes above it. This 5-minute, there's a 5-minute fair value gap sitting right here, which is right above this buy side liquidity that we're targeting. I like that. We're right around 11 o'clock, so let's see if we can get a nice final move for the day. So see how we closed above this, but then it rejected? We don't want we don't want to take that inversion right there. We're waiting for this one. Order block, propulsion block. Let's see if it wants to expand higher. Okay, 11 o'clock here in 26 seconds. New candle, 5 minutes green. I want to see what the 15 minute looks like. All right, so we got a 15-minute candle that should come up into this 15-minute fair value gap. You guys see that large 15-minute fair value gap? Let's remove some of these levels here so you guys can see that. I'd like to see it come a little bit lower first. Honestly, another stab into here would be nice. Don't want to trade nothing in here, folks. We want to trade the breakout of this area. Got to be patient. I have the equilibrium of this wick marked. Seeing if price wants to just tag this level and then start moving the other direction or somewhere around this level. All right, so there's a 30-second. Did not close below that. If you were bearish, you would not be taking this short right here. It did run this low. It did wick below that. The bodies are still sitting above there. That's a nice little reaction. See if the 30-second gives us a fair value gap right here. This would be a sweep of minor sell side liquidity with a fair value gap. Close above that, could run these highs. That's more interesting. But if it doesn't do that, it could just melt, and I'm not going to participate in that. We're right at a breaker here, high, low, higher, high. We broke below that resistance, lower prices, potentially. I'm not playing that either. I had what I wanted, and that's what I'm sticking with. This looks nice for a short. If you get a close below this 30-second, that's not bad. Still no close on the 15-minute. So I'm not going to take this short, but we're going to talk through it. It's a decent setup. We've gone down so quickly that I wanted to see a deeper retracement, and we haven't gotten that. So I would love, 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 love a close below this. That to me is like a better type setup, especially after an aggressive move right here. A fake out, getting more shorts in and then going long. That would be it. That'd be really, that seems higher probability than going lower. But if the set of instructions are to run, all the way down to these lows down here, then that's what it's going to do. I was just wanting a bigger retracement. I still think that's what's going to happen. I just wanted a bigger retracement. All right, here's going to be your close below it. Let's see that. This will be your move, your stop to break even. There's your entry. Your stop loss will be here. A close below that. You're going to move your stop to break even as soon as we hit that low. Okay, stop is now officially moved to break even. You have to move your stop to break even to protect yourself. Target's going to be here. Okay, that is a break even trade. This is how you protect yourself. Could it still run lower? Yes. But we followed our rules, got stopped out at break even, zero loss, zero pain. So that's how I would have traded that. And it just looks a little more sloppy. That's really what it is. Just a little sloppier. This looks like it's just going to run lower. Just aggressively drop right here. So here's the deal. So that aggressive drop just took place. There's your aggressive drop. Let's see if it wants to expand lower. Here's the thing. I chose to not take anything down here because I had a narrative that I wanted to see. This is what trading is. You put your narrative together. I wanted to see this level broken through to run this buy side. That's what I wanted. So when it didn't give me that, and there's another setup to go short, yes, it worked. Yes, I called it out, but I didn't take it because that's not what I initially wanted to see right away. So I missed the trade. We're probably going to run to those lows. At this point, I'd want to see a rejection right here at these wicks and a push lower. Well, there it is, folks. Sell side liquidity sitting right here. I'm not going to lie. This sell side move was way faster than I expected it to be. Because usually these are symmetrical. Yes, these tend to be a little faster, but I just thought we were going to be in this range a little bit longer. So that's why I just didn't, I knew we were going to go lower. I just didn't trust that we were going to go lower so quickly. But we went fast. We went really fast, way faster than I expected. I really, really wanted this purge up to here. I was going to take that, and then I was going to be like, all right, folks, that's our level. Let's see if we can hit our low. So I missed that. I missed that on my analysis. And so then I missed the trade opportunity. Because, man, this sucker dropped. I'm not complaining. I'm green on the day. I might sound like I'm complaining. Let's see. I'm not complaining about my balance, my account balance. I am complaining that I got my analysis wrong and I should have done better. But I will get better. There's no doubt in my mind. It's a matter of time, folks. I've already made that decision. Now, it's going to be very interesting if we run this previous day low. That means it's an outside day. We've ran the high and the low on the daily range. This day was an inside day. So we have this. We never grabbed a high or a low from from Fridays, which was a horrible trading day. I took a lot. My first trade was a loss, and I didn't take a single trade after that. No, I took 3 break-even trades, I should say, because I'm like, I'm not taking another loss. But I wanted to get bigger moves, so I didn't take any of those. Didn't take the 10-handle wins that it gave me, and so I took a loss for Friday. But usually these days that have the high and low inside the previous day high and low, very crappy days. So if we get a nice outside day running both these highs and lows, that's going to makes for great trading. It makes sense. It makes sense why this is so nice. I don't think I dropped this up here. Folks, there is the code DTJ to get the most updated discount codes on Apex. Guys, this stream's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't actually, the code gives you a huge discount. And if you do use Apex, I just ask that you try out that code for your discount. It means a lot. It really does if you appreciate these streams. So if you don't use Apex, I'm not asking you to use Apex. If you use My Funded Futures, it's a great platform as well. You're welcome to use that as well. All right, so we have an inversion right here, but why am I not interested in this inversion? There's a very simple and clear answer. Why am I not taking this inversion right here? Because of this sell side that's sitting right there. It's too close. I'm not going to take it. I don't even know if there's a 1 minute. Yeah, there's a 1 minute right here too. Okay. Not going to take it. There's also a fair value gap here, a fair value gap here, and there's your swing high. So very, very, not a very good inversion fair value gap that I would take. What did I just do? It looks like the trade did or made equal highs here, so it didn't quite play out, but I just wouldn't have taken that because of this sell side liquidity sitting right here. Now, we could absolutely leave this here and start retracing quite a bit and then run the previous day in the PM session. That's more probable than running it right now. Unless we're really expanding lower, then we'll run this now and then potentially run the previous week low in the PM session. Okay, so we made these equal highs sitting right here, but we never actually grabbed it. So this is, in my opinion, a failed bullish move. Now I'm looking at this right here if it wants to actually push to the lows on the 30-second. Let's see what the 1 minute looks like. Small 1 minute fair value gap closed, but we also have this 30-second. So when I'm looking at the 1 minute and 30-second, the 30-second's lower, so I'm going to wait for a 30-second close below this fair value gap. Folks, I'm going to share something with you. I am excited. We've been talking about the Purpose Driven Academy, and we're going to be releasing that here next month. But I want to do something special for the launch of it. And for those of you that are a part of this stream, I'm going to be putting out a wait list, a sign-up list for the early release of the Purpose Driven Academy, which also is going to give you access to the Kingdom Trader Discord, which it's a Discord for us, for a community of traders, for us to collaborate together, to encourage each other, to grow as traders, to grow as believers, all of this, so we can just do more communication outside of just the hour and a half, 2 hours of trading that I do here. We'll be able to collaborate. There'll be educational things that we'll be doing on there. There's so many different things that I want to do. We're just going to start small, but I want to give the lowest price that this academy will ever be. The lowest price that this academy will be for those that join the wait list. They will have the option to get it at the lowest price it will ever be. I'll give them access for 5 days. 5 days to basically get that price. And then I will, at that point, after that 5-day period of time, I'll release it to the public, and it will be at the released price, which is still going to be low, but it's not going to be as low as those that get it that join the wait list. So the goal is two things. One, I want to see how many people are interested. Two, I want to reward those, and I want to give it to those profitable traders that also just want to be a part of the community, that are willing and able to do that now. So I want to build that community. So it's going to be at the lowest price for those that are on the wait list. So I'll be posting that wait list here very, very shortly. And I will, actually, I might even have it today. It will just be a Google form sign up type sheet. You'll put in your information, email, name, how long you've been trading, and then I'll be emailing that to you guys, or the link to basically do that at when I actually release it. So here is the list. Let me I'm going to drop that now. Okay, something very basic. It's not fancy, but here is that link. If you guys want, if you want to have first dibs on it at the lowest price that it will ever be when that time comes, it'll be, again, I'm shooting for Black Friday, around that time frame. This is that link right there will be is how you get on that list, and I'll be sending that out to them first at the lowest price, and then after 5 days, after 5 days, I'll close that window and then release it to everybody at a different price. So there it is. I'll be putting that up here and talking about that every stream. Just make sure everybody has an opportunity, because when that door closes, that price will be gone forever. We won't be doing that again. My wife has done these before too, and she's like, if you do that, you got to stick to your word. And I'm like, oh yeah, sticking to my word. This will be the lowest price. Okay, so I'm still waiting for this 30-second to close below. Let's see if it gives it to us right now. We have 20 seconds. The 1 minute I told you I said I didn't like. I like the 30-second more on this close. Let's see if it wants to give it to us. And this is the sell side that we're looking at. Now, I'm not super confident that we're going to run all these levels right now. I think we wait till the PM session. The PM session is where I think all this is going to take place. All right, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to pin that. Still has not closed below there. I'm not going to be taking this trade. I will say I'm officially done for today, and to confirm that, I'm going to close my accounts. Disconnect those. Yes, it 100% is consolidating. Here it is. Let's see what happens. There's your close. There's your entry. Closes above that fair value gap, targeting those lows. This is I'll call this a B plus, because we're already pretty low already, but sell side is right there, so I like that. I'm going to be done for the day and not take this trade. If you want to be safe, move your stop to break even right now. To make this a free trade for you. And what? All right, there's TP number 1, and there is almost TP number 2. See if it hits. You have to take profit when it first hits that low, because there's not a guarantee it hits that sell side liquidity right now. We're not in a macro time, and it wouldn't surprise me if it just runs completely against us. Especially a green candle, you should close your trade right now. Way to go, Cubic. This honestly now has a beautiful trade to the upside on the 30-second. On reversing that fair value gap that's right there. That low and that right there. All right, there's a long. Let's see what happens with this long. I'm not taking this one either. This one, I still don't like it because of the sell side that wasn't hit right here. But just due to the aggression of these last two candles, it would not surprise me if this is ran aggressively. Yes, you should, Deborah. Nice job. All right, so that's going to fail. This is the type of price action to expect around this time. So I'm glad you guys were able to get some of that on that move. That was a nice little move right there. How many handles did that give us? Close below is right here. This was basically 10 handles. It wigged down to 15 handles. Technically, No, that would have been, yeah. Either way, it would have been a break-even trade if you didn't take profit at this low. Way to go, Viking. Congrats. Patience pays, doesn't it? I can tell you 100% that most of my losses are because I haven't been patient, or I had a weak moment and I decided, oh, that looks good, let's go. And I end up losing because my model didn't show up and I let momentum manipulate my feelings, and then I got in based on my feelings, not necessarily a model. Yeah, folks, I think we're going to call it a day here. We didn't hit this low, but I don't see another entry for a short. And if we hit the sell side, it runs without us. We took the one fair value gap that made sense. Well, I didn't take it, but we walked through that. Didn't hit sell side. It's just not the right time. And yeah, we're going to call it a day here, folks. Again, if you want to get on the wait list for the Purpose Driven Academy, it's pinned at the top of this chat. There's no commitment, obligation to do anything whatsoever. It's just for the opportunity to get it at the lowest price when it comes out on that day. So if you see yourself potentially interested in that, I would recommend jumping on that. And when I release that, it'll be going out to you guys first. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. God bless you. Glad you're here. Outside, it's absolutely beautiful. It's like 70 degrees. All the trees are yellow, red, orange. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to enjoy the day. God bless you guys. We will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it'll be Wednesday. I just need to know if I have to lead a class for my the real estate community. So I'll know more tomorrow. So God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.